What's going on, YouTube? Paul Piper here, and happy International Pipe Smokers, or Smoking Day, out there to all you pipe smokers in the world. Cheers. And I've got another pipe tobacco review for you. Got my personal favorite, not everyday blend, but it's one that I enjoy smoking probably more than any other pipe tobacco out there that I've come across, and it's the iconic Dunhill Mixture 965. Alfred Dunhill, this was his favorite blend, and it's one that I quite enjoy. So here's the presentation. Comes in a nice tin, and it is 1.76 ounces, and it's made in the European Union. Now, as far as type of blend, it is considered a Scottish blend, meaning that it has Latakia, Cyprian Latakia in it. It also has Macedonian Bright tobacco and brown Cavendish, and that mixture is pretty solid in my opinion. Now, as far as presentation, it's got a nice fine cut to it. It comes quite dry. In fact, I'd say bone dry. At least this particular tin was, and the most recent tins that I've had are quite dry. Loads up well. You won't have a problem. It's not a shag or a crimp cut or anything like that. You're gonna have an easy time loading up your pipe, and because it's so dry, it'll compress down, it'll tap down pretty effortlessly for you. And yeah, so today going to be smoking a Danmore estate pipe again, and it's kind of got a nice rustic with offset, smooth, and the stem's a little bit kind of unique on this thing. Smokes pretty well. So for all you pipe smokers out there, grab your pipe, load up a bowl, and join me here on our Pipe Smokers Day. This is just one of those blends that you do want to sit and contemplate every puff. It has a very unique flavor as soon as it hits your tongue, as soon as you inhale that into your mouth, and it hits different parts of your palate and will elicit a unique response upon contact. And as you exhale, if you take a little bit of the aroma into your nostrils, it will kind of invigorate you. It really just packs a great punch with it. It's full-bodied. It's not going to make you queasy or anything like that on nicotine unless you're just starting out. I know a lot of people think that there are fuller bodied smokes out there, and there are. A lot of people say that my Mixture 965 is a step below Nightcap. but I tend to disagree with those folks. I think that Dunhill just has more Latakia in it, and it's going to have a little bit more smokiness, and that's going to fill your mouth. Dunhill always kind of coats my mouth with smokiness, and I think it's the Cyprian Latakia in it. This has far less Latakia in it, and you definitely get the uh, uh, stronger features of the Macedonian Bright and the Brown Cavendish, which they just play really, really well. It's a divine symphony of flavors. Now, what are we going to talk about today, other than my very favorite pipe tobacco? We talk about pipe smoking in general, and it's the International Pipe Smoking Day. So hopefully you all lit up a bowl today in celebration. And I think that with the FDA deeming regulations and a lot of the other restrictions and contempt that we've had to suffer here, just as tobacco consumers recently, it's something that we should really celebrate. We should reflect and say, man, it's nice that we still live in a country that we're able to consume tobacco as consenting adults if we so choose. We have that control over our lives and our health. Even if it may be deemed to be risky behavior, negative behavior by certain segments of society, it's still our bodies. And there's a lot of people that on that same political side of the political spectrum that wants to say, oh, it's my body, my choice, my right, but then it's not when it comes to things that they disagree with, like consuming tobacco, smoking pipes, that sort of thing. So it's very hypocritical of them and detestable in my mind. So the fact that we can still in the Western world go to any number of stores and pick up our favorite pipe tobacco or other tobacco product and use it, that's something to be thankful for. And hopefully it won't change anytime soon. And I think that these FDA deeming regulations, restrictions on the manufacture of certain blends, restricting tobacconists from being able to be artisans and to be free market capitalists is pretty shameful. So hopefully we will see some of these petitions that are going around and some of the challenges in the court system be successful, because they should be. And it's much bigger. It's much bigger than just the relatively small percentage of Americans who smoke pipes. You know, it extends to other people. And whether or not they realize that now, this is one of those issues that, you know, will set a precedent, a very negative precedent, a restrictive regulatory precedent. And even if you disagree with using tobacco, you should stand with your brothers and sisters who choose to, and fight for them. Speak up, advocate, so that we can all enjoy a freer society. But that's the soapbox for today. I know that if you check out some of the online retailers, they are offering some steep discounts today in celebration of International Pipe Smokers Day. So I encourage you to grab your computer and check out their websites and see what kind of deals you can get. So maybe you'll decide to pick up some Dunhill My Mixture 965, and you'll enjoy it as much as I do. I know that a lot of times you can get good deals in bulk tins and other ways to reduce the cost to save you some money. But it's one of those things that hopefully Dunhill doesn't go anywhere. I know as much as I am not a pipe snob, I like a lot of different blends. You can't criticize the over-the-counter blends. Carter Hall, Prince Albert. I was a big fan of Kentucky Club. I was very sad to see Kentucky Club go away when Middleton decided to discontinue it. Half and half. There's tons of them out there that are good pipe tobaccos. So for those of you who like to stick your nose up in the air and say that I'm better than these blends, no. The way I look at it, my grandfather was a member of the Greatest Generation, and if half and half was good enough for him, and Prince Albert and all those other blends that have been around for the better part of 100 years, it's good enough for me. It's good enough for you. So broaden your horizons. If you're one of those folks who has only gotten into the hobby so that you can try some of the premier blends, the expensive, extravagant blends, and you smoke them in a $500 Dunhill, that's great. I'm sure that your experience is a good one, but don't discount the value and the enjoyment that a pouch of Old Codger over-the-counter blend smoked in an estate Dr. Grabo can bring you, because it can bring you just as much enjoyment. So much of this hobby is the ritual aspect of loading your pipe, tamping it down, getting it lit, checking the draw, that sort of thing. And it is a ritual. The reflection, actually lifting it up, holding the stem to your lips, drawing in some of the tobacco goodness, that is a ritual. And there is, it's written in our DNA almost. The enjoyment that we get, the gratification, satisfaction, and it does relieve stress. So don't discount any of the more budget or economy blends or pipes, because in a lot of ways they're just as good. So anyway, folks, that's been today's presentation on Dunhill My Mixture 965, and some comments on the regulations and the deeming regulations, and the value of smoking in general, and the importance of speaking up. Now, as far as a rating on this, I gotta give it a 9.5 out of 10. So it's my favorite, my absolute favorite. I don't think you'll go wrong with this. If you like a fuller bodied, it's just good. It's just good stuff. So hopefully it'll be around for a lot longer. And so pick you up some. So until then, folks, it's been Paul Piper. Happy International Pipe Smoking Day. And I'll see you next time. So till then, scroll down, hit like or dislike, add some comments, and be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. So till then, folks, have a good night.